Good morning. It's Mary Ellen from the channel Sensational After 60, and today I want to talk about making something from nothing. It's always been a passion of mine to take what other people throw away and make something that I think is pretty out of it. So I'm going to start with just a few things, and again, I don't want to have to go buy anything to make something pretty. The first thing I want to show you is this is just a tin pepper can. And what I did, I've always kept beautiful heavy paper catalogs like you used to get 30 years ago. I don't get too many of them anymore, but I used to get beautiful ones that had cosmetics and jewelry. This one I kind of did for Christmas, and I'm going to put it up close. And it's just tiny cutouts of paper. I hope you can see it. And I just kind of decoupaged them. I remember when I did this, I probably made this 25 years ago. I just layered picture upon picture and upon picture to get some depth. A lot of times would take, after it was dried, I would take a little varnish and put on it and then wipe it off to give it more of an antique appearance. But this is absolutely something from nothing. Scraps of paper, a scrap of ribbon. I keep scraps of everything. Another one on the decoupage line is this one. And I love this one, and it's probably 20 years old, but again, it is little tiny scraps from the catalogs. But I did jewelry on this one and put a tassel, and I have this sitting on top of some books, and I keep playing cards in it. But it's a cigar box. It's stuff people would throw away. This came on a package. I mean, it didn't cost me anything. This is one that's probably 20 years old. And it was just a box that some cosmetics came in, and I liked the shape of it. And so I did the same thing. It's not, I mean, everything here is not decoupage, but I was just going to show you. Put some ribbon scraps on it. And I hear people talking about vision boards. Inside this, I just have a little ribbon. And I have had vision boards all my life. Well, probably since grade school, have poster boards and put up things that you think are pretty. Well, a lot of the things I do, like I love Monet, so inside this I had put a picture that was done by Monet. Also, I noticed when I was getting this out, I have a picture of a clawfoot bathtub. And I do have a clawfoot bathtub now, but at the time I didn't. It was even before my parents passed. I always loved their clawfoot bathtub. I have, on this side, there's money, books, and bath products. Bubble bath, to be exact. So at the time I made this, I wanted to make more money. I wanted a bathtub. I loved reading, and yeah. But anyway, this again was just a bunch of, I think this was from a calendar that I kept. Something that's not decoupage, but I had some leftover scraps from my wallpapering, and I had an old hat box, and then just a regular box, but I covered it. I used one type of border for that, and then I cut this from the wallpaper, have a different pattern on the top of that, and then this box is just a neatly trimmed box. But it's very pretty. And again, scraps of wallpaper that would have gone to waste, an old ribbon, and I've got something pretty there. This is something I use every single night. This, I think, was an Estee Lauder box, and it wasn't pretty, but I needed something. I wanted something this size next to my bed. To put a few things in, and all I did was paint it. And I made this probably 20 years ago. I don't know if you can see the lid, it's dimensional. I just took glue and put glue all over the lid, and then took a toothpick and made different designs, and then put a stain over it, just like a floor stain, then wiped it off, and then just took gold with my fingertips and just did the high spots. But it's useful. I had the paint and something for nothing. The last thing, maybe the last thing, I don't know. The next thing I want to show you is when my father died close to 30 years ago, I wanted to keep some of his flowers, but I didn't really know what to do. Well, I used to do a lot of embroidery. So I dried the flowers, and I got an embroidery hook out, went upstairs and got some lace that I had left over from my daughter making clothes for her when she was little, dried the flowers, and just have it in here, and I have it hanging up in my dressing room. So, you know, this is really special to me, and I can keep it forever that way. The last thing I'm going to talk about today, if this video isn't too long, and I promise this is the last thing I'm going to talk about. This bench. This little stool. It was shot. It was absolutely shot. It's one of those that you get at a dollar store. I needed it for some reason, and I bought it, probably 35 years ago. And it was absolutely worn out. And I had a coat that was in really bad shape, a green suede coat, and it wasn't good enough even to give to the Salvation Army because it had faded. It had faded terribly on the top. So I just cut a piece of the fabric out and covered my stool in this, and I took some black paint and just kind of painted the light oak and kind of streaked it, and I think I've got a real pretty stool. Yeah, that's the kind of DIY I like, to make something pretty with things that people would have just thrown away. So it's all good, and it's pretty, and I like it. So that's what's important, is if I like it. So, because I'm the one that has to look at it. So it's all good. Thank you, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.